Hi, this is Mariah Gullo from The Hollywood Reporter, and we're in studio today with Jason Mitchell.
What up, though?
Hi, Jason.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. I really am.
You have become one of my favorite actors in such a short period of time. You've been in so many great movies.
Thank you.
And very excited to interview you today about SuperFly.
Yeah. I'm excited about SuperFly myself, just because, you know, you want to be part of something nostalgic, but you want it to be, like, big. You know what I mean? But then when something rolls up like this, you're like, sign me up. Seriously, like, SuperFly, like, really, y'all making that movie again? Like, you know what I mean? It's like that, you know? Cause it was one of those movies that your dad is like, look, you gotta sit down and watch this. It's like, don't let him watch that. Look, don't tell me what to do. Look, son, you know, sit down and watch this. It was one of those kind of movies, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, we just didn't get it when we were younger, but it was such a movie at a time. And now we're making another movie for this time, so it's dope.
Yeah. So when you watch the original SuperFly and then you get to act in the new SuperFly, what are your feelings? What are your reactions to, you know, how what it means to you and how it's, you know, how it's changed through this new iteration?
I think the best part about it for me is the fact that it's all about being sort of like Black Hope. You know what I mean? And like, if back then, if you were known in Harlem, you were known all over the world. And now, if you're known in Atlanta, you're known all over the world. And you know, we had a little bit more than $200,000 to shoot the movie. You know what I mean?
Nice,
so
which is
yeah,
nice.
it's really good. You get to bring like some young flavor, but you also, you get to be over the top. You get to be flashy. You get to have all the money. You get to be the American dream. And it's cool to have that, you know, in a movie where you don't have to go to jail for it.
And this movie is very different than like the, say, Mudbound or any of the other movies that you've done. It's flashier, it's action packed.
Right.
It's a music video director, Director X.
Yeah, he's dope.
So what was that like?
You know, for me, it was special because I've always been trying to go through this thing. Like, I always thought I was going to be trapped or pigeonholed as Eazy-E. You know, like, I remember when Kong came out, I would like try to go hide in the movies and see what people really thought about it, and, you know, just like look around. I got up to leave out of the movie, and it was like, Eazy-E, and I'm like, you literally just watched me for 2 hours. And I was just in this movie, you know, and they're like, oh, that is Eazy-E in this movie. You know, everybody's still like, man, Eazy-E did a good job in Mudbound, you know. And for once, I get to be myself. They were like, we love the New Orleans accent. We love you being you. We want you to make your character up. We want you to add everything. We want you to feel like this person. So it was good. It was good to be able to bring everything I had to it. You know, just really be myself.
So tell me a little bit about Eddie.
Eddie is just a guy who's strictly built off loyalty, and more than anything, he's loyal to Priest. You know, because he's one of those guys that like, he might not have found his way if it wasn't for Priest. You know, and he really respects that. But he also doesn't understand why Priest thinks that we have other opportunity. And if you make $4 million in 4 months, I mean, why do you want another job? You know, so as you know, like he goes through a lot because he just doesn't understand why Priest has this sort of fantasy world in his head, because he just doesn't see it any other way.
Right.
You know, so it turns into a fiasco, you know, because he's just trying to get some money.
Did you have to take a crash course in Atlanta culture?
You know what? I actually didn't, because I'm, like, being from New Orleans, everybody's, like, dream is, like, I'm going to just pack my stuff and move to the A. You know what I mean? And Atlanta was always just that young black mecca. This was the first place I ever came and saw somebody who wasn't famous. And you was like, oh my God, look at this car. Oh my God, look at this car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't see that coming up. And when I came here, I was like, oh yeah, this is what's up. You know what I mean? So I always just had this natural love for Atlanta. Yeah.
What about Chicago?
Oh. Chicago for me is home. But I'm also a tropical brother. You see what I'm saying? And see, nobody
it's
told me.
It's a little cold and windy.
Right. Like, see, a blizzard is not what I'm built for. You understand what I'm saying? So I will be living all my summers in Chicago. But when it gets cold, you can count on me not to be there. Bye.
The summers in Chicago are amazing.
They are. And I'm a real big foodie. man, and they so real. They're a city with an identity, and it feels like the city of dreams to me. Like that's home for me.
Yeah. So I'm obviously pivoting into the Shy.
Yeah.
Your character almost throws it all away in acts of revenge,
right?
But is able to kind of maintain his soul and his integrity,
right?
So you just tell me about the journey of creating that character, because that was a really I find that to be one of the most compelling characters on the show.
Right. Well, the most interesting thing about the Shy is that from the outside looking in, a lot of people think that a lot of murders and all these things are like about gangs and about revenge and all these different things, right? But at the end of the day, everybody has family and everybody has family members, you know? But the hardest part to deal with, I think, for maybe a brother or a friend that's close is knowing that this revenge may cause your mother to lose 2 people or make, you know what I mean? Like, there's no good way out of it. You know what I mean? All you can do is you got to take the tears. You just got to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really all it is. You just got to take it. And, they have a beautiful moment with me and Sonya's song where she was like, I'm not saying that you're going to do nothing crazy. I don't even want to know what you did. I'm just glad that I didn't lose 2 of my boys. You know what I mean? And we see this happen all the time. Like, one brother gets killed, and then 3 days later, the other brother gets killed, and the other brother goes to jail. You know what I mean? Because you're thinking rationally, but at the same time, it's like, it helps nothing. You know? So I think for Brandon, he would honestly would turn out stronger and have more pride by letting it go. Right. You know? And, it's a big deal. Yeah. It's a hard one to swallow, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I felt like Samuel Jackson with The Time to Kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Has Lena Waithe spoken to you about season 2? Has she let you know where Brandon's going?
Not yet, but I'm just super excited about season 2 because it's just so wide open. You know what I mean? And it's just gonna get more real.
Things really resolve themselves.
Yeah. And me and Lena, we have this sort of connection, not just to the floor, you know, or to the ground. We're very grounded, but we also have this connection to people to realize that there's as much good as there's bad. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, you better get back with Jericho, but some people are like, Jericho didn't even want to hear what he had to say. You know what I mean? It's just, everybody has done as much good as they do bad, and it's just such a human show. And that's what makes Lena's writing so great. You know, she's just a great human and doesn't mind putting herself out there. You know what I mean? Like, she kills it.
Well, what do you hope for Brandon for the next season?
You know, I just like Brandon to be a little bit more rough around the edges at times. You know what I mean? Because he just has so much to gain. So much to gain. And a lot of times, you know, you have to deal with this thing where you have to turn the other cheek. But I'd like to see him get a little bit more gritty. So we'll see what happens.
After taking some roles in Detroit and Mudbound, you spoke about wanting to work with more female directors. Yes. Why is that important to you?
Because females they're smarter than the average people.
I'm not gonna
like the average person could be female, right? No, but seriously though, I think females they really have a way of going about things very quickly and very honestly, and it's just cool to see how honest people can be with themselves. Like Dee Reed, she was very honest with herself, and she was like, "Do what you want to do. Like I trust you because you're the actor. If I felt like I knew what to tell you to do, then I wouldn't have hired you. You know what I mean? Like I think you're amazing. You come with things that I think are great. Like Catherine Bigelow's like, look, you know, I kind of worded this a little bit. And Mark Ball, great writer, he was like, but he's not married to this. This is a monologue." But not. Like, we want you to say it like how you would say it. You know what I mean? Like, you've been black way longer than us. And we don't mind you, you know, saying how you feel or doing what you want to do. So I don't care what you do, we're going to catch it on camera. And that was literally what happened. I didn't have to worry about the lighting. I didn't have to hit a mark. I didn't have to do any of that. They just let me go. Right. And it was dope.
Sounds like a great experience.
It really is. It really is.
So, I mean, your story is amazing.
Thank you.
Were discovered via a nationwide search.
Right.
For Straight Outta Compton.
Right.
Do you feel like you need to kind of help other young people who aren't part of the Hollywood system get in?
Well, I think for me, it's like information is key, you know, and I think the 99% of people who are for sure not to make it in the star life, if they had information about the other 300 jobs that were on set, I don't even think they would care. You know what I mean? Like, they have so many people that work much more than actors because their face isn't in front of the camera. But their job isn't glorified because, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
And they have so many amazing people. Maddie Libertique, one of the most amazing people I've ever seen in my life, hands down. And he's behind the camera, you know? But it's just different. And, like, people set things up very, you ever heard the saying that God has no power because he's everything, and the devil has all the power because he's just specific things? So he tries to make himself shine and make people want to go grab at that, when really it's peace all around.
Right,
you know what I mean? And I think just information is key, because if I would have known that I could be an actor, I would have, like, tried it a long time ago. You know what I mean? But it wasn't in my backyard. It wasn't something that I thought was super easy, but it is super easy. You just got to take it serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so many people are like, I want to be famous and I want to do this and I want to do that, but you got to learn how to read a call sheet first. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to audition. You got to learn how to do these things. You know, you got to have tough skin, because this is a game where I've been told no way more than I've been told yes. But sticking with it, you know, made these yeses that I did get all worth the wait. You know? So
all of these productions that are happening now in Louisiana, in Atlanta, in Chicago, like, this is really good for talent, because it's it's allowing people to see what a set is like.
Exactly. And it's allowing people, like, the thing about The Chi is, like, the kids on there are my favorite, right? But when I was their age, I didn't see a kid who looked like me on TV. I wanted to be like Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? We were moonwalking, and, you know, wasn't nothing wrong with that. We wanted to be like Ninja Turtles, but we never saw young black kids on TV.
Right.
And now, these young black kids don't have to pick up a gun to be cool, because 11, 12, 13, 14, they're the main ones doing all the killing. And it's crazy, because they're going to do like a Juvenile life and get back on the street, and people are going to go, he's the coolest guy in the world because he's the big bad wolf. Don't mess with him. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's such a relief to be able to see kids who I feel like are cool and spreading a message that's just cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they just chilling.
Yeah.
And they getting a lot of money too, so I'm happy for them.
So now that you're an IT actor, do you have to turn down a lot of work?
Getting
a lot of offers?
No. I don't get as many offers as it may seem. You know, because
you got a good filtration system.
Right, because at the end of the day, you know, like, as Eazy-E, I think I did a great thing, right? But it's easy for a director who's never met me to say, what if that was just his golden role? You know, like, what if that was him? Like, he has to show me other pieces. And, you know, those are things that I respect. But that's also why I re-strip myself and reboot every time. I try not to live off of what I did last time, because I just want to keep elevating. You know what I mean? And I want to show people, like, I'm good at everything. I got a crossover. I got a jumper. I got, you know, I can pass the ball. I can do all these different things. And it's important to show that you're a team player at times, you know? So just trying to show these people I'm a 17-layer cake, you know?
I mean, is there a kind of genre of movie that you would like to make?
You know, I grew up on movies like Beverly Hills Cop, Bad Boys. You know, movies where, like, you can watch them with the family. They're fun. They're fast. You learn something from it, but, like, the bullets are still real. You know what I mean? Like, those kind of movies are super, super cool. But I think I'm more in the lane of, like, looking for a dream role, you know? And I like bad guy roles. Like, it was so interesting to play Eazy-E, because it was like, he was the bad guy that everybody hated to love so much. Like, you just wanted him to win. He was like, no, He almost was there. But he was an idiot the entire time. You know what I mean? He's like, he just didn't even want to read the paperwork. You know what I mean? By the end, you're like, no, don't go. You know. And bad guys, they always have a very, very vulnerable side. Like one of my favorite bad guys of all time is when Denzel played the guy in Training Day. You know what I mean? And it seems like he's an animal, but when you see his child and you see his vulnerability, and you see why he's a wolf at the end of the day. Because I'm a cop and I'm not making that much money and I'm putting my life on the line and I still have to live like this and I got a beautiful kid at home. You know what I mean? Like, it gets deep, but I think bad guys, they get to show a very vast range in a short period of time. Yeah. 4
quick questions before I let you go.
Okay.
The first job where you said, I've made it.
You know, I don't think I've ever felt like that. I don't think I've ever felt like that. But I did have a really, really strange moment when Detroit happened, because Catherine Bigelow told me, basically, she was like, I need this from you. But you have every right to tell me no. So I'm putting it all out there, and I'm just on the other end of the phone like, okay, whenever we finish, I'm just going to say yes. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yes. Like, who gets offers from Catherine Bigelow watching TV? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a mind-blowing thing for people to consider me in such heavy situations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want me to bring this across, you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible. It's incredible. She was like, you had me at the beginning, Straight Outta Compton. I need that, you know what I mean? But then I need you to die. So, can I get 100% from you if I kill you right after? Are you okay with that? I'm like, fine with me. She said, yes, okay. Good, you know what I mean? And it's fun to be able to put it all out there, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, my job is to make the director's vision come to life, and it's just funny to be able to shape shift. You know? It's cool.
And what was your best day on the set of SuperFly?
Ooh, this is a hard one. You know, I have to say, I'm gonna go with the like we did these shooting gallery things, and it was just dope because, I mean, we probably shot off about roughly around 8,000 rounds in a couple of days.
Whoa.
Like, it was just great. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where you're like, this doesn't happen. Yeah, you're like, this just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It was good. It was really fun.
Excellent. The last person who gave you great advice.
The last person who gave me great advice, I have to say it was myself. Because a lot of times you have to learn how to decipher things, right? But if you can't tell yourself when to listen and when not to listen, or remind yourself like to be humble and all these different things, then you're gonna miss it. Because you can learn from a baby. You really can. You know what I mean? Like, so it's important to just be able to listen to yourself at times. You know what I mean?
It takes people a long time to trust their instincts.
Right.
It's cool that you've already got that.
Yeah.
Worst audition story. Do you have a bad one?
Ooh. My worst audition, I think was for Kong, right? Because I didn't know how to add the movement into, like, because you have like this small area to work with, right? Because they're not gonna move the camera off you. You have to stay like in this little box, you know. Right. But it was like mostly all running, and you know what I mean. You gotta do all these different things, but you're like, I don't quite know how to do it without looking like an idiot. You know what I mean? So, like, I bombed it so hard that I literally, I walked out of there and I called my manager and I was like, yo, I felt stupid. so I know I look stupid. And is there any way maybe we could get Jordan Vogt Roberts some tickets to Straight Outta Compton, because I feel like I need another audition piece. You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't even know what to do. I felt so stupid. I was like, I just felt like I looked stupid. It was just the dumbest thing ever. And it actually worked, because after I saw him at the after party, and he was like, "You ready to go to Skull Island?" And I was like, "Yes, yes, I got it." I just wanted it so bad, you know. And I just was like, I don't even know what to do with this, but I tried, and I was like, I know for sure I look stupid.
Jason, that is some quick thinking. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I could keep you here forever, but you've got to go to all your other interviews today.
I don't mind staying. You know, I'm here all day.
All right. SuperFly, June 15th.
Yeah, check it out.
Check it out in theaters. Thanks, Jason.